Thank you for spending part of your Tuesday here with us on First Take. Your boys, Skip Bayless.
What's up?
All right.
Molly Karen.
How are you?
What's going on, man? Good to see you.
You know,
How are you?
I haven't seen you on TV enough lately. That's
I
the
know.
problem. So I'm happy you're on TV now with me, and I get to share the stage with you.
How many
This
sports
is the
centers were
first
you
for
on, literally?
Yesterday,
6.
17.
Well, I expected to show up for the 6, but I didn't expect to be on the whole hour and a half practically. And then I did, obviously, the 11, and I did the overnight. It's the NBA playoffs.
Then
it
you
comes
did
to the territory.
the 6 a.m., the 7 a.m.
I did not do the 6 a.m. 7. I did Mike and Mike this morning.
You did.
I did Mike and Mike
Ratings
this
maker.
morning.
I can't blame them. All right, we ready to do this?
Let's roll.
Okay, we have a series, my friends. The Raptors pulled even with the Cavs, becoming the second team to tie up a series after being down 2 games to none against a LeBron James team. The home team has won all 7 games between the two teams this season. Stephen A., what's the biggest reason that the Cavs lost?
The biggest reason. You know something? I look at it, and last night, I'm looking at LeBron James, believe it or not. Yes, he had 29 points. Yes, he hit 11 of his 16 shots. You're universally recognized as one of the top 2 players in the world. Your conditioning is off the charts. I will give it that you played 46 minutes. The fact that the last 5 minutes and 28 seconds, you attempted 1 shot in the 4th quarter. After overcoming an 18-point deficit, taking a 2-point lead, having a 2-point lead, and all you need to do is hold on to it. And one of the world's greatest players attempts 1 shot in the last 5 minutes, 0 shot attempts in the last 3 minutes, to me is inexcusable. Now, you could look at Tyronn Lue like Brian Windhorst did and said, you know, that's coaching. Plenty of coaches have made this mistake in the past where they ride LeBron James and they play him, they ride him till the wheels come off and they play him too many minutes. That might be fair because he might have been fatigued to some degree. You could look at J.R. Smith and his Statue of Liberty defense when he let Kyle Lowry blow right by him in the last 22 seconds. You could look at Kyrie Irving and J.R. and Iman Shumpert, who had threes rained in his face time and time again because Kyle Lowry was just burying shots after shots after shots. You can look at DeMar DeRozan and his mid-range game and the fact that Cleveland collectively as a defense gave up 30-plus to both guards in the backcourt. That usually does not happen. You can look at all of those things. But in the end, and you can certainly look at Kevin Love. You know, I mean, this guy riding the pond in the 4th quarter, he might have got tweaked an injury or whatever. That wasn't why Tyronn Lue sat him down. Tyronn Lue said he didn't. Tyronn Lue literally said, I didn't know. I didn't know whether he was injured or not.
Yep.
I just thought Channing Frye was playing better. He's the $113 million man, and every time the 4th quarter comes around in pivotal moments, there's an APB out for him. Where the hell is he? You can say all of those things. But it comes down to my man LeBron James. Because if you're losing by 15 or you're losing by 18 like you did on Saturday, I understand. But when you overcome an 18-point deficit and you have a 2-point lead, that's your moment. So when you have Kyle Lowry guarding you, you have to take advantage of that matchup. The dude is practically a foot shorter than you. You have to take advantage of that matchup. Another occasion when you've got Carroll guarding you, letting Kyle Lowry come from behind and steal the ball to go in, not for a layup, but ultimately get fouled and missing 2 free throws. That's a problem. That's very Karl Malone-like in that particular moment, okay? Well, you know, when Jordan stripped him in the finals. You just can't let that happen. We all know how much I love and respect LeBron James, but you can't let that happen. To me, I look at that, and I look at that as the biggest reason. I have to look at him because you're the best player, one of the top 2 players in the world. You have a 2-point lead with 5 minutes left, and you don't even attempt to shoot in the last 3 minutes? At no time did a shot go up? That doesn't make sense to me. None.
Did I just hear come out of your mouth what I think I just heard come out of your mouth? Was that the sleep deprivation talking? Should I call the nurse? Should we get Nurse Nancy in here to check your temperature?
What are you talking
Are
about?
you okay with what? I mean, for me, this is the big one. Elizabeth, I'm coming because I'm coming. I'm
You
coming.
like
Yes, because it's never happened before.
It's happened
Stephen
before.
A. Smith just opened First Take by criticizing his man, LeBron James.
I have to.
Who deserved every last word you just heaped on him. Because I am so with you, but I thought I was going to be the lone wolf again. I was ready to disqualify myself and say, well, I'm such a critic, but I cannot tell a lie. And you stole my thunder in a great way. I'm so proud of you. I appreciate what you just did because this was classic. This was all-time classic, baffling, frustrating LeBron James. And from my heart, because we both picked Cleveland to win that pivotal game last night. Yeah. Now it's a series, obviously. I'm rooting for LeBron. And over those last 5.5 minutes, if I may add a couple of quick details to what you just laid out for everybody, he was mostly guarded by 6-foot-tall Kyle Lowry.
Yes.
Wait, he's 6 feet tall. Some give him 6'1". I don't think he's
6 feet.
He's 6 feet tall.
He's 6 feet.
Okay, LeBron, as you often say, 6'9". So let's say there's 9 inches there, and little Kyle is fighting like the bulldog that he is down in the low post. And I'm saying, LeBron, just wheel on him. Just wheel on him, because I know Biyombo's going to come and help, but you can't keep LeBron James from the rim or from the free throw line at that point. And it's not like the last minute of free throws. This is 5.5 minutes. If LeBron wheels 3 times and gets 6 free throws and makes 4 of them, it's points. They're crucial points. I have never seen anything quite like this since the NBA Finals when he melted down. And by the way, Dwayne Casey just happened to be the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Mavericks when that happened. So Dwayne has seen this in larger context than we saw last night. But to your point, Richard Jefferson scored a dunk with 4:53 left that gave Cleveland a 2-point lead. As you said, they had exploded on Toronto. They had made their first 11 shots.
Led by Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye.
Which is, that's pro. This is a point for Ty Lue. He just said, heck with you, Kevin Love. I'm done with you, Kevin Love. Again, I keep saying they have 2.5 men on that team, as in 2.5 stars, because Kevin Love is no more than a half star to me. I'm sorry, I tell you that all the time. And that was classic case. Remember, in those first 8 playoff games, Detroit and Atlanta, he had 8 straight double-doubles. And now over the last 2 games in Toronto, he has totaled 13 points and totaled 11 rebounds. And he just disappears. Okay, so we get that. And we also get it that Biyombo has badly outplayed Tristan Thompson. I love Tristan Thompson. So they have switched roles, because Biyombo was not to be found in Cleveland in games 1 and 2. But look at this. In these last 2 games in Toronto, Biyombo has 40 rebounds and 7 blocks to Tristan's 17 rebounds and 2 blocks.
That's right.
Well, that's badly outplayed, right? And they're kind of the same guy.
Even though it was sort of even last night a little bit, because Biyombo got some late rebounds, but he had 26 rebounds in game 3.
I get that. And we all know that Cleveland has lived and died by the 3, because for the first 2 series, they were on a record playoff pace in making 3-point shots. Right. And now they've gone 41 attempts and 41 attempts, and they're making 33%. Well, you know and I know that can get you beaten on the road when you only make 33% of that many attempts. That's a lot of shots.
There's a lot of them are forced. They're contested.
Forced.
They're
I agree.
Contested. They're not open.
By the way, Biyombo actually went out and blocked JR's 3.
That's
that was
right. Yes,
big.
he did.
That was a
yes,
huge
he
play.
did.
Okay, so now let's go back to that moment. 4:53 left. You're up 2. You have taken Toronto's crowd in large part out of the game. It's about to be 3-1 Cleveland in this series. We would both agree would be completely over, right? And where is LeBron? And I counted the touches. From that point on, LeBron, and he had made a basket just before that. That was his last basket that he made. He touched the ball 11 times over that last 5-minute period. Of those 11 touches, he missed 1 shot, a drive shot that he just shot too hard off the glass. He had the 1 turnover when Kyle stripped him, right? More in the backcourt.
Right.
He had 1 rebound, and he shot 0 free throws in the last 5 minutes. That game is begging for LeBron to take it over and close it. Now, back to Brian Windhorst's point. Is it fair? Okay, I'll give you this. When you are a 13-year veteran and you are 31 years of age and you have played all but 2 minutes of the first half and then you play every minute of the second half and obviously every minute of the fourth quarter, is it fair to say you just flat out ran out of gas in the last 5 minutes? Maybe, but this is the one where you suck it up. Who's the best player on the floor? Come on, is it even I mean, it's LeBron James, right? This is where you suck it up. You reach down, whatever energy store you have left, and you say, I'm going to close this deal, because if you close it, this series is virtually done. And you can take it easy the rest of the way, or at least easier the rest of the way when you go back home to finish them off. And he just, I don't know. He's just kicking the ball back out. It's on. At first I said, is he mad at Kyrie? I don't think so. I mean, there's nothing going on. He's just not being assertive. He's being passive.
Well, let me say this. Let me interject. Because on many occasions you have people comparing him to MJ or comparing him to Kobe, saying he's not them. And then they say, you know, and I've always thought that was unfair. Then they say, well, he's more like a Magic Johnson.
Yeah, all right.
Here's my problem. Magic Johnson is not doing nothing for the last 5 minutes.
He would not do nothing. I agree.
He would do something.
Right.
And what I'm saying about LeBron last night, and this is just one game. You understand? This doesn't impugn his greatness or diminish his greatness in any way. But my problem is, again, listen, I had John Saunders texting me because he's Canadian, and like, you apologize to Canadians everywhere because of what you said. And it got me on it, and Jay-Z's texting me and talking about, this is all your fault. And Chris Rock is sitting up there talking about, it's like Mike Tyson, because he was looking at Tyronn Lue. Said a superstar, every great superstar that's won championships had great coaches, you know, and just like Mike Tyson, he had a great trainer, and then he got rid of the trainer and brought his boys in the corner.
Wait, they're down on Ty Lue?
No, that's what Chris Rock was talking about. He said you had a great trainer. You get rid of the trainer, you put your boys in the corner, and you go from knocking people out to getting knocked out. So those are analogies that I had to deal with all night. And I'm looking at LeBron, and I know that people are inclined to look at Tyronn Lue. I'm saying if you're tired, then that could be the reason why you missed. It could be the reason why you made mistakes. But when you don't even attempt but one shot in the final 5 minutes. Damn it, if you can run up and down the floor, you can get a shot off. And especially if you got Tyronn Lue, I mean Kyle Lowry on you. So I'm looking at it, and I am judging the Cleveland Cavaliers with championship expectations. I am looking at them.
Like 3 days ago, we're saying they're the favorites?
I'm looking at them, and I'm taking Toronto for granted. And I'm saying, is that going to beat Oklahoma City or Golden State? And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. If look, DeMar DeRozan doesn't shoot threes. He shoots twos.
You know what? I got to say real quick.
Go ahead.
You know, I love LaMarcus Aldridge shooting two-point jump shots. He's one of the best. Listen, my man Kawhi is really a good two-point shooter. But this guy, he can't shoot a three, but he is really good.
His mid-range game is elite, no question. But he was in attack mode.
He was.
Kyle Lowry was in attack mode. And I'm looking around, and I see no response. And not from the big three that counted. Even Kyle Lowry, when they were making the run, it was Jefferson, it was Channing Frye. So I'm just saying, is this going to get it done? No. There's no way that's going to get it done. And we were and it's just like I said earlier. It is one thing to believe in a team. It's another thing to find. It's one thing to believe in them. It's another thing to find them dependable. You can believe in Cleveland because of their talent. Can you depend on them? No, because you can't trust them.
I agree.
You can't trust them.
Okay, so big picture, explain this to me off that fourth quarter. The good news is Cleveland made 11 straight shots. LeBron made 3 of those. LeBron chipped in with 2 other free throws.
And then went 1 for 10.
Okay, then you go 1 for 10 down the stretch? How do you do that? Like, that's confounding and dumbfounding to me. I'm not sure I've ever seen that in the same quarter be that hot to that cold.
Because the game was tight. You come back from the deficit. You overcome an 18-point deficit. You take the lead, right? But Toronto wouldn't fade. Once you came back, now they were going tit for tat. So when they were going tit for tat, the pressure mounted.
Yep.
And as the pressure mounted, they started forcing shots.
Yep.
And started forcing plays. And that's what happened. Then Channing Frye missed a couple of shots as well. So the people that got you there, when it really, really counted, nobody could deliver. J.R. Smith was missing shots. Channing Frye was missing shots. LeBron James wasn't attempting shot. Matthew Dellavedova, a wide open three and an air ball. That talk about Brick City. I thought he played for Portland for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be kidding me. I don't mean it that way. I'm just talking about the acronym.
I got it.
So I'm just saying to you, I looked at that. The only person that made a shot was Kyrie, and that was after Toronto was pulling away. So, again, you look at Cleveland, and it's just dumbfounding because they have the talent. You can believe in the talent, but you can't trust them.
Okay.
And that's the problem.
And I thought after games 1 and 2, we could not trust the Toronto Raptors.
That's right.
And I got to say this for the record, and I tweeted this late last night.
I have to apologize.
Toronto showed me something last night.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, they
Special.
totaled, what was it, let's see, 67 points, the most the two of them had ever scored in tandem. That's big time. That was a big time
Well,
game.
you know what they proved? They proved, A, that their all-star stature was valid.
Yeah.
Number one. And number two, what I told you about Kyle Lowry, who I've known back from his days in Philadelphia. I covered this dude. I wrote an article on him when he was in high school. Covered him at Villanova.
Okay. Well,
he's a pit bull, man. He got a lot of heart, and now he's got a jump shot to go with. I mean, look, I got to give credit where credit is due. They deserve it, but still in all, Cleveland still came back from an 18-point deficit, had a lead. If you tell me I got a 2-point lead with one of the top 2 players in the universe with the ball in his hands and the lead, I'm going to put my money on that.
Too.
And it didn't happen.
No.
It didn't happen.
All right, we'll leave it there. So yesterday, obviously, we were discussing Draymond Green. Would he get suspended? Well, he will not be. The kicker flail that stole the headlines of the Game 3. That was the right decision. What do the guys think? We'll get into that after the break.